What's up everybody, Boogie here, and in today's video we're going to talk about things you should know before visiting Japan. This little list I've actually put together from you, all of those who have been on my tours here in Tokyo. If you've been there and we've sat and we've talked, I've collected this list from all of you. So first of all, thank you everybody for sharing your input and your thoughts. It's going to be very helpful because it's going to help all those other people out there who are planning on coming to Japan and visiting. The main question I was asking people is, what do you wish you would have known before coming to Japan? Or if there was anything that surprised you when you first came to Japan that you wish you would have known. There's about 15 things here I've put together. And then of course there's a couple of bonus things I've added here on the end that I'll be able to share with you also. Number one, there are no trash cans anywhere. Yep, that's true. Probably one of the most shocking things when you come to Japan for the first time and you may be wondering, where are all the trash cans? You're walking around, you got a drink, you have no idea where to toss it. Well, there are no trash cans anywhere in Tokyo, so you take it with you. That's all you have to do. So just make sure you carry a little plastic baggie with you. And then when you get back to the hotel, you can just toss it in the bag up there. Or if you walk into a convenience store or around certain train stations when you get out by the exit and everything, you can also find trash cans there where you can dispose of your things. Should have taken out cash at the airport ATM. Alright, so it's true you can get around with a credit card in Tokyo. Very, very easy. However, Tokyo is still a very cash-based society. So you're going to need to have cash with you to get around. You're going to need cash to ride a train. You're going to need cash to ride a bus. So just make sure you have a little bit of cash before you leave the airport. The time of year matters. Summers are brutally hot. I think the key thing to this is before you plan your trip to Japan, plan a time that you feel is best for you. And of course, if you're not used to extreme heat and hot weather, Japan summers are very, very hot. It gets up to 34, 35, sometimes 36 C. It can be very, very hot. And when you come to Japan, the time of year matters. Plan accordingly. One, number 4, should have researched the area I'm staying in a bit more. If you're gonna stay at some hotel, wherever it's gonna be, it's good to get to know the surroundings so you're a little bit familiar with the area you're in. If you're coming to Japan for the first time and you want to have easy access to the city, probably Shinjuku, Shibuya are probably more of the central places that you can stay, but there are other stations that are far and in between that you can stay in at also. Knowing the area you're staying at is going to help you have better access to the city. Research the area you're staying in a bit more. That makes a lot of sense. Get a Suica pass instead of a Japan Rail pass. Let's do the math, and I'll tell you how that works. So say that you were coming to Japan for the first time, and your plan was to go from Tokyo to Kyoto to Osaka and back. Here's what it costs. A ticket from Tokyo to Kyoto would cost you about 380 yen. And then of course from Kyoto to Osaka, that would cost about 540 yen. And then from Osaka back to Tokyo, that's about 14,920 yen. So the total cost of that would be about 29,840, which would probably come out to maybe roughly 200 USD. Now, if you were to get a Japan Rail Pass, the Japan Rail Pass for 7 days is 70,000 yen, which is probably closer to around 600 USD. And if you got a Japan Rail Pass, you can only ride JR Line only. So it works out a lot better if you get a Suica card to get around on all the trains in Japan. A Suica will get you on the metro, will get you on the toy lines, and will get you on the JR lines. And then whenever you need to travel outside of Tokyo, then you would just get a Shinkansen ticket on top of that. If you do it this way, you'll probably definitely save yourself about anywhere between $200 to $300 on transportation. Where to eat food bought in convenience stores. In Japan, usually it's frowned upon to walk and eat at the same time, or walk and drink at the same time. Oh, you can walk around with a drink. So the key point of that is this. If you got food at a convenience store, eat it there in front of the store. If you got a drink, you can carry that with you. That will be okay. You can definitely do that. Japan's tipping culture. Do we tip? Say you're eating in restaurants, riding a taxi, the bellhop carries your luggage, any of that stuff. You don't need to tip drivers. You don't need to tip waiters, waitresses. You pretty much don't need to tip. I'm a tour guide here in Japan, and I always love it when someone gives me a tip. But I'm going to let you know right now, straight up, that is optional. It's up to you. You do not have to give a tip. I usually like to keep it to this rule of thumb. If someone provides you a personal service and you found it outstanding, then at that time you can give a tip. So tips are optional. Honestly, tips are really optional. You don't need the tip. If someone has provided you a private service, yes, please. We always love our tips. It's optional. Next up on my list here is pick up a few general phrases in Japanese to communicate. I think it's always good to know a couple of phrases in Japanese to communicate. Ohayo gozaimasu, good morning. Konnichiwa is just good afternoon. Konbanwa is good evening. If you're at a restaurant and you're ready to pick up the tab or your bill, you just say okaike kudasai. If you're on a train and you're ready to get off and there's too many people in the way in front of you, you say orimasu. Before you eat, itadakimasu. And when you're done eating, gochiso sama deshita. These are just some general phrases that you can pick up. Obviously, there's going to be a lot more Japanese phrases that you can pick up. If learning Japanese is not your thing, the other thing is use Google Translate on your iPhone. I think that's pretty good. If you have an Android phone, you can use a thing called Google Lens. I think Google Lens or even Google Translate will help you to read kanji on signs and things. If you can't read the signs, you can use those to translate. I think if you have an iPhone, on the new iOS 18 update, there's this little thing that's the translator, and you can have one that's like face-to-face translating. So if you're talking to someone directly, you can use that. There's several tools to help you to communicate. You don't just have to remember phrases. There are also apps that will help you. It's good to learn a little bit of the language to get you around. And of course, if you don't remember things, remember you can use these tools to help you to figure things out. And next on our little list that we have here is a good guide. I think this is pretty good because if you're coming to Japan for the first time, a good guide could really help you get started. And what you want to do is you want to get a good guide from the very, very beginning. So shameless plug here, or maybe not so shameless, this is more of a helpful plug. I run a little tour group called Farside Japan. So if you're looking for a guide for the city, just connect with me through Farside Japan. I can definitely help you get around the city. Also do city walking tour, do photo walking tours. And of course, a good guide will always help you get started on your journey here in Japan. If you're looking for some great Japanese street food, Tokyo Ramen Tours. If you go to the Tokyo Ramen Tours website, we do ramen tours. We have 3 routes, one in Shinjuku, one in Shibuya, and one in Ueno. And we also do what are called street food tours. So if you want to try some good Japanese street food, you can also check out our street food tours. If you're a solo traveler, it's great to meet other solo travelers. If you're traveling with a family, it's a great way to put together activities to do with your family. Tours that I would recommend definitely are FarsideJapan.com tours. The other tours we do is also Tokyo Ramen Tours with the street food tours. I'm going to leave all those links below in the description. And of course, by linking those descriptions, you can look into that. And so when you come to Japan, we'd be more than happy to take you out. A good guide will definitely help you out. And a good guide will definitely help you to get to know the city very, very well. And of course, we're always here to help you have a wonderful experience when you're visiting Japan. All right, so next one we have on here, how to respond when you enter a store and leave. Okay, so this one came up is because every time you walk into a store in Japan, they're always going to say, "Irashaimase, irashaimase, irashaimase." You always hear this all the time when you walk into any store in Japan. And all you have to do is just nod your head and smile. That's all you got to do. Just nod your head and smile. You don't got to say anything. You don't got to say anything. Just nod your head and smile. That's it. Very easy. Okay? And then when you're leaving a store, if you bought something, they're going to say, "Arigatou gozaimashita," and they're going to bow to you. And you just have to reply back, "Arigatou gozaimasu." And you just lightly bow your head. And then that's it. So don't make it complicated by trying to say some long words or some long things. You just got to keep it really, really simple, is what I have to say. That's pretty much how to respond when you are in a store and when you leave. Next one, I'm actually going to combine 3 of these because I talked to different people and then these are sounding very similar. One of them was the quiet places in a big city, the smell and the cleanliness. That was a surprise. Tokyo is massive. And then the other one is the city is much easier to get around. Tokyo is massive. Tokyo is a very big city. Don't expect to do everything in one day. Don't expect to do everything in one trip. Tokyo is huge. You can probably spend a whole 5, 6, 7 days here in one city alone, and you still won't cover all the ground. If you come from a small town and you're not used to visiting big cities, it could come to be quite a big surprise. It could feel quite overwhelming at times. Tokyo's a little over 37 million people, and you would think, that it's a very busy city, but you'd be quite amazed at the quiet places that you can actually find in the city. So if you want to find these quiet places, don't stick around the station so much. You got to go out beyond the station. And different train stations have different sides, right? Different neighborhoods have different vibes, different areas, different wards will give you something totally, completely different from another one. Shinjuku is different from Shibuya. Shibuya is different from Asakusa. Asakusa is different from Ueno. And so between all these places that you can explore in Japan, despite of how busy it is, you would be amazed at all the quiet places you can find far and in between. As big as the city is, you can find it quite easy to get around. The stations are very easy to understand. Actually, within Tokyo, there are a lot of signs that are in English. You don't need just an Uber to get around, to get everywhere. The train is actually quite efficient. It can get you pretty much everywhere and anywhere. So just know that even though that Tokyo is a very, very big city, it's really not that difficult to get around. Don't overpack, underpack. I met a gentleman, he was a solo traveler, and he said coming here to Tokyo on his own, he was here to buy things and collect things, and he realized that this was the second time to Tokyo. So he realized that his first time when he came to Tokyo, he brought too much stuff with him. And so this time around, what he did was he underpacked, and then by underpacking, he brought an extra bag so he can actually collect goods and things like that. Take only the essentials with you, and then bring an extra bag or an extra duffel bag or something to add your souvenirs in. And just know, some of the hotels that you stay at will have a laundry service, so you can clean and wash your clothes at a hotel and things like that. So you'll be able to do that. And of course, by underpacking, you'll free up some space so you can collect more souvenirs. So underpack, save extra space so you can collect and bring things back home with you. The other one here is to get an eSIM. I think being connected is very important when you're in the city. If you don't have your phone, how can you use your map? You can download offline maps, but I think being connected is very, very important when you are in the city. And so in order to get connected, you can either get a pocket Wi-Fi, which is pretty old school, or you can get what we call an eSIM. eSIMs also are very, very helpful to help you connect your phone so you can get around in the city. Getting reservations in advance. If you're going to be coming to Japan and there's some really popular places you'll be visiting, it's important to get tickets, reservations to places in advance. You know, you've come all the way this way. Don't wait till last minute to make reservations. Make sure you make reservations early for the places that you really, really want to see. So like Studio Ghibli, Team Lab Borderless, Shibuya Sky, your favorite restaurant, anything like this, make sure you do your reservations early. And that way you're guaranteed to make sure that you have a spot when you come. And then don't be one of those guys who thinks, I can do last minute, it'll be fine, we'll just wait in line. Nah, you don't want to risk it, don't chance it. You're coming all the way over here to Japan for a holiday, so don't chance it, okay? So make sure you reserve tickets early and in advance. Japanese etiquette. Japan is a society where people pretty much keep to themselves. When you're riding on the train, don't talk loud. When you're in an elevator, whisper, don't talk loud. If you're walking out in public, don't eat in public. Don't walk around with an open cup. Make sure there's a lid on it. When you're listening to audio on your phone, make sure that you have headphones on. Don't play music through loudspeakers. The main thing is try to keep to yourself. So this would be good etiquette to get you started when you're coming to Japan. Here are some bonus things to help you get around. When riding the train, one of the most important train lines I'd always like to share with people is know the loop. That's going to be the Yamanote line. The Yamanote line goes in a loop. It's part of the 23 wards in Tokyo. And if you're coming to Japan for the first time, you will want to stay at a hotel that is on this loop, on the Yamanote line. So that means find a place to stay around Shinjuku, find a place to stay around Shibuya, find a place to stay around Ueno, Nippori, Nishi-Nippori, Shinagawa, Ikebukuro, Tokyo. These are all places that you can stay at that are close to the station, and you want to be within 5 to 10 minutes from the Yamanote line, the main loop. Even if it's your second or third time coming to Tokyo, you want to be able to access the city. By staying in a hotel that is close to the Yamato line, it'll help you to better optimize your trip and to help you to get around. If it's your first time into Japan and you like crowds, stay in Shinjuku and Shibuya. If it's your first time to Japan and you want peace and quiet, you can stay in Asakusa. If you stayed in Asakusa, just know it's far away from the loop. So if you want to stay in a quiet place, I would say find a place around Ueno, Nippori, or Nichi Nippori. These are quiet places if you don't want to be around two people. Also, if you got the paper to burn, around Ginza. Around Ginza is a good place that you can stay also. If you're a solo traveler and you are on a budget, capsule hotels are a good idea. Hostels are another good place you can stay at. And another one that not too many people talk about is a net cafe. Net cafes, they can cost as little as 2,500 yen. That's like what, $15 US? If you're a solo traveler, hostels or capsule hotels are going to be very, very good for you. I think that will get you started. So these are the things that you should know before visiting Japan. All right. I appreciate you watching the video all the way up until the end. Really appreciate it. And then, of course, if you're looking for more videos about Japan, you can check them out here. So you found this video helpful. Don't forget to hit that like button. Share a comment below if you have any other questions. And of course, do subscribe if you're not subscribed to the channel yet. It really helps me out. We are a growing community. We'd love to hear from you. So with that, I just want to say thank you. It's been a pleasure. I'll see you on the next round. Cheers. What's up, everybody? Bunga here. And today, we're going to go visit some Japanese shrines and temples. Do you know the difference between a Japanese shrine and a Japanese Buddhist temple? Well, if you don't, in today's video, we're going to cover about 20 different things that you can learn about these two. So when you visit Japan and you go visit a Japanese Shinto shrine or a Buddhist temple, you'll be able to tell the difference between the two and, of course, have a more enjoyable time while you visit here in Japan. So let's talk about it. One of the key differences between a shrine and a temple is this. Shrines are Shinto, temples are Buddhist. Let's start with the entrance. When you're entering a Shinto shrine, there will be a torii gate at the front entrance. When you visit a Buddhist temple, there will be a sanmon gate at the front entrance. A torii gate is a lot more simple and it's not as elaborate. However, on Buddhist temples, when you enter through the Sanmon gate, they can be very, very elaborate. When you're going through a Sanmon gate, the two guards at the front entrance are called Neo. They're big, ominous-looking, monster-like creatures that will pretty much scare all the bad spirits and all the bad stuff away. However, when you visit a Japanese Shinto shrine, there is what's called a kama inu. These are like lion-like looking dogs that will be guarding the shrine. So Sanmon gates for Buddhist temples can be very, very elaborate. Torii gates for Shinto shrines are pretty much very, very simple. And then after you enter in through the entrance of a Shinto shrine, there's one place that's called the Purification Center where you wash your hands. And then there's the main hall. The main hall is where you will give your donations, and the main hall is where you will do your prayers. Now, some Buddhist temples will also have a purification place where you can wash your hands, but not all Buddhist temples will have this. For a Buddhist temple, there's a lot more buildings and structures inside. One place that houses all the monks where they will stay, and there'll be another place where they house all the Buddhist statues. Now let's talk about the Gento practices, the difference between a Shinto shrine and a Buddhist temple. Prayer at a Buddhist temple is a lot more simple. Usually the prayer consists of simply bowing, and then praying, and then bowing once again to finish your prayer. For purification, not all Buddhist temples have this, but there's a place where you can wash your hands. There's also a place where you can light incense. There'll be like this large cauldron looking like thing right in front of the temple's main hall, and then there's usually incense inside of it. And usually there's smoke burning, and you'll see people standing around it, and they're like bringing the incense smoke towards them. That's another way that you can purify yourself, by bringing the incense air to you. In some temples, you can also get incense, and you can burn incense. Now, when you're burning incense at a temple, don't blow it out. You either have to fan it out, or just use your fingers to pinch it. Never blow out the flame when you're lighting incense. Now, the general practice at a Shinto shrine is slightly different. What you need to do is bow at the front of the torii gate, and then after you're done bowing, then you may enter in through the torii gate. As you're walking up towards the main hall, you would head towards the purification place where you would wash your hands. Now, do not walk down the center. It is advised that you walk to the left or to the right. The center is pretty much left for deity. And for us, we will walk to the left or to the right. And then when you get to the purification center, this is where you would wash your hands. Now, In some places, there's a ladle. They say you wash your left hand first, and then you wash your right hand, and then after that, you wash around your mouth. Some people will rinse their mouth and spit to the side. Don't spit into the water. But for the most part, just wash your hands just to feel safe. And then after that, when you get to the main hall, the prayer is going to be 2 bows, and then you clap twice to call the gods, and then you say your prayer. And then when your prayer is done, bow your head again, and you are done. Bow, bow, clap, clap, bow. Before you say your prayer, make sure you drop your donation first. And in some Shinto shrines, there is a bell that you can ring before you say your prayer. These are the general practices that you will see Japanese people do at a Shinto shrine and at a Buddhist temple. When's the best time to visit a temple or a shrine? For the Japanese, there are no weekly services at the Shinto shrines. However, usually on the 1st or the 15th of the month is when people will usually go and visit. That's usually the time that you would go visit. Also, every now and then, if you want to partake in a special ceremony, like say for example some businesses when they're starting a new project or something, they'll go to a Shinto shrine and partake in a Shinto ceremony to bless their new business endeavor. This is another time that some Japanese people will visit a Shinto shrine. Every year on New Year's, everybody visits a Shinto shrine. At midnight, most people will go line up at the shrine. They'll go ring the bell and say their prayers. It's a great way to bring in the new year. However, for Shintoism, you can pretty much go worship anytime, day to day. There's no like long sermons that you need to go listen to or anything like that. Most Japanese people just go at their own pace. Come to the shrine, drop your donation, and say your prayers. And you can do that day to day. There are differences in Shinto festivals and Buddhist festivals. Probably one of the biggest Buddhist festivals is what we call Obon. And Obon is usually around August, is the Obon. Obon is about celebrating our ancestors, and then usually during the Obon season, it's where we would go and clean our ancestors' graves. And probably one of the biggest festivals during Obon is probably a bone dance. I was able to attend a big bon odori is what they call in Japanese. Ebisu has a big bon odori, and that is a big Buddhist festival. Where Buddhism is celebrating our ancestors and those who have passed, I would say Shinto is more like celebrating life and those who are living. That's how I look at it. In Shinto, we have the summer festivals. They're called matsuri, and matsuris can be very, very big. And usually matsuri is capped off with, they carry what are called mikoshi. Mikoshi are carried to the street and taking the kami outside of the shrine and showing them around and then bringing them back. But usually a lot of people will gather together to carry a mikoshi. Some of the shrines that you visit in Japan, you might be able to see some of the shrines' mikoshi. The mikoshi are very, very elaborate, ornated, look like little miniature versions of the shrine itself, and most people will carry it in a procession through the street. Here are some neat things that you can do at a Shinto shrine. One of those things is you can get what's called an omikuji. An omikuji is your fortune. Usually you would give a donation and there's a small little paper that will have your fortune in it. But the key thing is the omikuji is your fortune. And if it's a bad fortune, you can tie it off in a place like this and leave it at the shrine so you don't have to take your bad luck with you. If you have one that's good luck, then maybe you want to keep that with you. You don't want to leave it at the shrine. The other thing that you can do is you can get what's called a goshuin. A goshuin is a seal that the temple will put in a special book that's called a goshuin cho. The goshuin cho is what you would use to collect all your goshuin or your temple seals. Now what I like about goshuin is that as you visit each Shinto shrine, you can actually collect all these wonderful seals, and there's always a calligrapher who will write in it. There'll be the date, the time, and they'll write the name of the shrine and everything. This is a very, very beautiful keepsake. And if you're here in Japan, I would definitely recommend getting one of these, a goshuin cho, and collecting goshuin seals. And that way, by the end of your journey here in Japan, you can go through the book and say, oh yeah, I remember we visited that shrine. And it's just a great keepsake. Another thing that you can also do here at a Shinto shrine is get an ema. An ema is a wood board where you can write your prayers and your wishes. And once you get one of these boards, what you do is you write on the back of it, you know, your goals, your dreams, or things that you want to achieve in your life. And then once you write it down on there, and then you hang it over here on this little board where everybody else hangs their boards. And then of course, they'll pray for it here at the temple. Pretty cool, yeah? All right, and these are some neat things that you can do at a Shinto shrine. And some remaining fun things to know about Shinto shrines and Shinto temples is this. Buddhist temples are made to enshrine Buddha and Buddhist statues. And Shinto shrines are made to enshrine deities and sacred objects. In most Buddhist temples, there will usually be a cemetery. Sometimes there's no cemetery, but usually there will be cemeteries attached to Buddhist temples. For Shinto shrines, there are no cemeteries. And funerals will usually be done at a Buddhist temple, where weddings and celebrations can be done at shrines. Meiji Shrine in Tokyo is a great example where you can see some great weddings. If you're lucky, when you visit Meiji Shrine, you might see one of these weddings. And in some Buddhist temples, you can actually stay the night. It's called shukubo. And usually they'll offer meals, you can stay the night, and you can partake in the prayers with the monks. And lastly, if you want to visit a really popular temple in Tokyo, there is the Sensoji Temple. That's over in Asakusa. And if you want to visit a very famous shrine, there is the Meiji Jingu Shrine over in Harajuku. And with everything you learned in today's videos, when you visit Meiji Jingu or Sensoji Temple, you should now be able to tell the difference between the two and know exactly what you're getting yourself into. Alright, so we've covered a lot of things today about Japanese Shinto shrines and Japanese Buddhist temples. And now I hope you have a good idea what the difference is between the two when you come and visit Japan. Thank you for watching the video all the way up to here. Don't forget, if you want to watch more videos, you can find more videos on Japan here. If you like what you saw, please hit that like button and share a comment. It really helps me a lot. And if you'd like to learn more about Japan, please subscribe to the channel. And it's been a lot of fun chatting with you today, and I'll see you on the next round. Cheers! Hey guys, Bunga here. We are in Shinjuku, and in today's video, we're going to talk about 15 things that you can do in Shinjuku. 15 things and more. So let's talk about it. A great way to start the day is exercise. So in Shinjuku, a great place to go to is Shinjuku Central Park. The Central Park area, there's a little track you can run around, and there's actually an area where you can do pull-ups and you can do dips and all these other wonderful things. Now this is on the east lawn of Shinjuku Central Park. After your workout, you're probably going to be a little bit hungry. In that same area, there is a Starbucks. However, I would avoid the Starbucks. Right next to the Starbucks, there's a little cafe. It's called the Musashino Cafe. Here's the thing, they have some of the best souffle pancakes and they have free Wi-Fi. And it's a great place to go, relax and chill after your exercise and block the rest of the day. The next place we'll be visiting on our little list is the Tokyo Metropolitan Building. It is located on the west side of Shinjuku Station. What makes this place great is that you can access the observatory elevator, go up to the 45th floor, and enjoy some wonderful views of Tokyo at no cost at all. They also have a visitor center. So if it's your first time to Japan and you want to learn about some of the interesting places that you can go to that you're not too familiar with, visit the visitor center here. There's lots of great information that you can access to help you find other interesting spots throughout Japan, not just within Tokyo. Another great place of interest that you can visit is Shinjuku-Goen National Park. At Shinjuku-Goen National Park, there is an information visitor center that you can check out. There's a lot of great info here about nature that you can explore in Japan. For example, if you're interested in Japan lakes, Japan rivers, Japan oceans, Japan hiking, this is a great place to access and find all that information at no cost to you. The display is interactive and it's a great way to explore Japan without getting outside of Tokyo, so you get a good feel of where you want to go and plot your course of where you want to go next. After you visit the visitor center, the next thing is you can wander in Shinjuku-Goen National Park. Why not? You're there already. It's a great place to explore, get out of the city, get away from the crowds, and just enjoy the peace and quiet of nature. Alright, the next place to explore is the Shinjuku West Side. This whole area behind me is filled with a variety of electronic shops. So for those of you who are into gear and electronics, the Shinjuku West Side is a great place to explore and find some of the best used and brand new camera gear. And welcome to the southern promenade of Shinjuku Station, located on the new south exit of Shinjuku Station. Now what makes this place particularly unique is that it's brand new. It's probably built within the last 10 years, I believe. Now what's really neat about it is right behind me over here, there's a bunch of little restaurants that you can actually grab food from, and then you can take it to go, and then you can come sit over here at the promenade and sit down and relax. Southern Promenade, Shinjuku, new south exit. I would say by now you've built up quite an appetite and you're probably quite hungry. I'd recommend going out the west exit, heading up north, and you'll find a variety of sushi restaurants and of course my favorite, ramen. Here's a place that I recommend. Just check this out. Let's watch it together. It's one of my shorts. Yeah, this place I definitely recommend. And they have some of the most delicious ramen here at Menyusho. Check it out. And if you feel like you've done a little bit too much walking for the day and you just need a moment to relax, I definitely recommend the Dinendu Cafe on the South Promenade. It's a great place to just come relax, have a hot cocoa, and a sandwich. If you're wandering around Shinjuku and you're just a little bit tired and you need a place to relax, out on the east exit, there's this wonderful statue. And the statue is called Hanao-sao, but the key thing is this little area here is just a great place to relax. There's chairs here, there's benches, and it's not that crowded on a weekday. What visits Shinjuku is not complete without a visit to Hanozano Shrine. Hanozano Shrine started around the Edo period in Japan. It's a great place to visit and check out the grounds here. There's a lot to explore. Now, a neat thing to know about Hanozano Shrine is that they're well known for their yearly festivals. A lot of activities are going on here usually throughout the year. Thank goodness today it's very, very quiet. Hanozano Shrine. And this little area we're in right now, this is Golden Gai. Right now it's closed, opens up in the evening from 17 into the wee hours of the night. Golden Gai is a great place to come and pretty much drink. Some people think it's a tourist trap, but the main thing is watch for table charges. Some places don't have a table charge. Some places are members only. But this is Golden Gai and that's just the rules of the place and that's how it works. But it's a great place to explore if you've never been here before. There are lots of fun drinking places that you can come and drink, and of course it's actually very foreign friendly, so visitors are welcome here. So come check out Golden Gai. Any Godzilla fans out there? Well, this is the Hotel Glacier up on the 8th floor. So if you're standing down on the street level, you can actually see gigantic Godzilla head. Can you see it? Right there. That is the giant Godzilla. But if you take the elevator up to the 8th floor of the Hotel Glacier, there's actually a whole display of Godzilla stuff that you can check out. There's a little wall with all the Godzilla movies that you can see, and of course, you can visit Godzilla himself. He's going to eat my brain. Godzilla, Hotel Glacier. Don't miss it. And for those of you who really love games, why not visit a gaming center? This is Gigo Gaming Center in Shinjuku. It's known as the Gaming Oasis. Definitely worth checking out, especially for those of you who love games. Here we are on the east side of Shinjuku Station. This area behind me is known as Kabukicho. If you're looking for the nightlife, look no further. Come to Kabukicho. Now, Kabukicho was traditionally known as the red light district here in Japan. However, it's not a red light district in the traditional sense. I would say it's a little bit more PG-13. So what you're gonna find here is mostly bars, izakayas. You find some game centers, karaoke, maybe some clubs for dancing, Latin dancing. So if you're looking for nightlife and you want to be entertained, come to Kabukicho. Located behind me here, this is Kabukicho Tower. This is a new entertainment complex that just opened up recently here around 2023. It's got a dining area with a bunch of izakayas. It has an arcade, it has a theater, there's a hotel at the very top. The whole place is an entertainment complex. It's a very brand new place to come and enjoy. So if you're in Kabukicho and you're looking for an evening of food and just a little bit of entertainment, Kabukicho Tower is also a great place to hit up. So this is Kabukicho Tower. And to cap off the rest of the evening here in Shinjuku, why not stop here at Don Quixote? Don Quixote is the perfect place to go souvenir shopping. You can find liquor, Kit Kat, ramen, a variety of other Japanese snacks that you can take home with you. Don Quixote, great place to go souvenir shopping before you head out. And that's located right back here in Kabukicho as you make your way back to the station. Alright, we've had quite an eventful day here in Shinjuku. That's 15 plus things to do in Shinjuku. Plenty of things to keep you entertained from morning all the way to the night. If you made it this far, don't forget to hit that like button. Let me know that you enjoyed watching this video. And if you found this video informative and helpful, please do subscribe to the channel. And with that, I'll see you on the next round. Don't be fooled by this exchange rate in Japan. At the west exit of Shinjuku Station, there are several places where you can exchange your cash for Japanese yen. The rates are clearly posted at the front of the shops. Avoid this particular shop because it just shows an ambiguous number and doesn't show you exactly what you're getting. Instead, find the little shop next to the Western Union shop. This one right here, the exchange rate is clearly written on the door, exactly what you'll get. Make sure you get the best rate. Unusual offbeat places you can find in Japan. Did you know there is a very secret waterfall in Shinjuku? Let me tell you how to find it. First, you must find the eye of Shinjuku. From here, follow the long tunnel till you pop up out of the other side. Walk past the Tokyo Metropolitan Building and into Shinjuku Central Park. And there you will find
Shinjuku's Niagara Falls. Make sure you go in the day so you can see it. If you go at night, they turn it off. Come find it. Definitely recommend. Japan's offbeat places to eat. I found these extremely fluffy souffle pancakes. This is Musashino Diner in Shinjuku's Central Park. I got my orange juice and waited for this. Now, doesn't that look amazing? These souffle pancakes are made fresh to order. Wow, fluffy. Let's add some syrup, and now, let's taste. And now, the moment of truth. All I can say is rich, decadent, flavorful, just right. Definitely recommend. Omoide Yokocho, overrated? I decided to stop by this popular spot in Shinjuku to find out myself. I kept my order very simple. I ordered a cola and these 5 sticks of yakitori. Now it's time to taste. Cheers. I was sorely disappointed at this soda. It was flat, very bland, not bubbly. However, these tofus tasted pretty good. From here, I proceeded to eat each one of my yakitori sticks. The first one was actually quite beefy and juicy and delicious. The second one, also quite beefy and delicious. I think this one is like a gizzard. That was my favorite. And this one, I think, is liver. That was pretty good too. And the last one was simple chicken. That was pretty good also. I think altogether, bite after bite, I did enjoy it. And it was actually quite tasty. So, Omoide Yokocho in Shinjuku, overrated? My final thoughts are, worth the visit, watch for table charges, recommend. Hungry for ramen? In the back alleys of Shinjuku is an award-winning ramen shop by the name of Menusho Honten. This is the main shop. Let's go. I had decided to get the shoyu ramen. After placing my order, I sat at the counter and waited and watched them prepare my shoyu ramen. It was ready. The broth itself had a very savory, tangy flavor. Nice and oily, but not too much. Everything was balanced just right. The noodles were fantastic, just how I like them. Firm, chewy, a little bit gelatinous on the outside, and really easy going down when you're eating it. Super, super delicious. I think the charred pork kind of had like this interesting smoky, sweet, meaty flavor. It was so delicious, right down the bite. The ramen egg was also amazing. Nice, beautiful, orange color. Wow, that was an amazing bowl of ramen. Everything's so delicious. Definitely recommend.
What's up everybody, Bunga here, and welcome back to another video. Today, we are in Ueno! That's right, and today we're gonna find 20 things you can do here in Ueno. So, let's talk about it. So, what is there exactly to do here in Ueno? Probably one of the biggest things you can do here in Ueno is visit the museums, especially if you're interested in Japanese culture and Japanese history. This is a great place to explore. There are several different museums that you can find here in this area. There's the Ueno Royal Museum, the Tokyo Metropolitan Museum, the National Museum of Nature and Science, oh, and don't forget the National Museum of Western Art, and of course the Tokyo National Museum itself. Also in the area, you're going to find several shrines that you can visit, and of course the famed Amayoko Street for food, eating, and shopping. So let's go explore, and I'll show you what we can find here. When you are visiting the museums in this area, do expect to spend a good half of the day here. The museums can take a lot of time to go through. You probably won't be able to visit all of them unless you plan on spending an extra 2 days here. However, if your time is limited here in Tokyo, it's best to be particular about the museums that you visit. This is the Ueno Royal Museum. What makes this museum particularly unique is that the exhibitions are always changing. So they're never going to be the same. So every time you come here, depending on the year and the month, it's going to be different. The last time I visited the Ueno Royal Museum, I came to see the Dali exhibition. But just so you know, this is the Ueno Royal Museum. It's a great place to check out to see what exhibitions they have. Once again, it does change from time to time. And this is the Tokyo Metropolitan Art Museum. Here you'll probably find Japanese artworks by Japanese artists doing like calligraphy. You also find they have a lot of open air sculptures that you can explore and walk around. A great place to take photos if that's what you're interested in. It's also just an all-around good place to discover global and Japanese art as a whole. The museum consists of about 5 floors and many different sections. You can expect to spend a good part of the day here also. This is the National Museum of Nature and Science. You can tell when you're outside the building, there's a big old large blue whale, and then of course there's also a locomotive train. In this museum, most likely you'll find pre-era, Meiji-era science exhibitions, and also you're going to find a lot of nature like taxidermy and those types of things. Most of it is going to be nature and science, all related, of course, to Japan. So if you're interested in those types of things, this is a great place to be. They also have permanent exhibitions and rotating exhibitions. So depending on the time of year that you come, those special exhibitions can change from time to time. And you can also visit the National Museum of Western Art. Of course, it's Western art, not Japanese art. Of course, the main exhibition will be different from time to time. I think one of the standout features here, even if you don't actually go inside the museum itself, the courtyard area, the entrance to the museum, there's actually quite a collection of several Rodin sculptures. I think there's about 4 Rodin sculptures that you can actually check out, which I think is pretty neat. If you're having a hard time choosing which museum to visit, I would say the Tokyo National Museum would be the museum to visit out of all the other museums that are here in the area. The reason why is because the Tokyo National Museum is related to Japanese culture and its history. In here you can find samurai swords and samurai armor, and of course, not only that, but you'll find also many different exhibitions that dig into Japan's rich history and culture. Now, the Tokyo National Museum is comprised of 5 different buildings. They have permanent displays also, and of course, several rotating and changing displays. Because the Tokyo National Museum is comprised of 5 different buildings, you can expect to spend pretty much most of the day here. And you might not even be able to attack it all in one day. You probably need at least 2 days to go through the whole Tokyo National Museum. But there are so many Japanese artifacts that you can find here from history. And if you really, really want to dig deep into Japanese culture, this is the place to be, the Tokyo National Museum. And if you have kids, the Ueno Zoo is a perfect place to go. The Ueno Zoo also has some pandas, and I think a lot of people like to go to the Ueno Zoo to visit the pandas. And there are other various animals that you can visit at a zoo. The Ueno Zoo is Tokyo's oldest zoo. It opened up in around the 1870s is when the Ueno Zoo has opened. Ueno Zoo, if that suits your fancy, perfect place to take the kids and the family. And if you love pandas. Starting from the west side of Ueno Park, you can start at Toshugu Shrine, and then from Toshugu Shrine, I'll work your way all the way down to a place called the Shinobazu Pond. And along this little route through Ueno Park, you'll find many different shrines and temples that you can walk through. So let's go check them out. This is Toshugu Shrine. It was built during the Edo period, and it was built in memory of Tokugawa Ieyasu. Tokugawa Ieyasu was one of the great unifiers of Japan. So this temple was built during the Edo period, and it's dedicated to him. Great place to go strolling. If you like to enter the temple, there's an entrance fee to actually go inside, but it's a great place to just kind of like walk around and check out the ground. It's very, very beautiful. This 5-story pagoda is known as Kaniji Pagoda. It's been around here since the Edo period. It actually now is part of the zoo on display here. Tokugawa Shogun dedicated this 5-story pagoda to the Ueno Toshugu Shrine. That's right around 1631. And now we're going to visit Daibutsu Ueno. This great big Buddha was actually built right around the Edo period. It's a little over 2 meters in height. The Great Kanto quake around 1920 is when the head actually fell off of the Buddha statue. And then the body and the parts were melted down, and they were used to build weapons of war during World War II. And then in the 70s, they decided to build this small pagoda and, of course, enshrine the head here to the pagoda. This is where Daibutsu Ueno has rested ever since around the 1970s. Nowadays, the Buddha head is a symbol of good luck and goodwill. So many people come here from far away, and they write on the little boards and have their prayers and their wishes here. This is Hanazono Inari Shrine. There are a little over 30 of these little torii gates that you can walk through. Say hello to our Kama Inu as we now enter. Cool little place to walk through. And this takes you into Hanazono Inari Shrine. After walking through the many gates of Hanazono Inari Shrine, the next place you can make your way to is the Lotus Flower Pond. The lotus pond blooms in the summertime. I believe it's between June, July is when you can actually see full bulbs of the lotus flowers. But you can visit the lotus pond anytime. You just will not find any lotus flowers. But here you can visit the Bentendo Temple, which is here. Bentendo is a Buddhist temple. This is Bentendo. It was built during the Edo period, right around the 1620s. I think it was around 1625 is when this temple was built. A lot of history behind it. It's a Buddhist temple. Shinobazu Pond. I think Shinobazu Pond, the swan boats are a great activity if you have a big family and you're looking for something to help the kids to release some energy. Shinabazupan is definitely a great place to visit. And if you're visiting Japan with your favorite loved one, it's just you and them, and there's just two of you, why not take a romantic ride in a canoe in the Shinabazupan? After spending the morning visiting museums, and after wandering through shrines and temples in Ueno Park, you're probably going to want to head to the south side of Ueno Station. And located on the south side of Ueno Station, there's a great little area that's called Ameyoko. All right, so we made it here to Ameyoko in Ueno. Traditionally, this was the black market of Tokyo, but nowadays it's more like the swap meet of Tokyo is what I'd like to call it. But it's a great place if you want to go do some bargain shopping. That's what you'll find here. If you're looking for suitcases, shoes, sports gear, any of that stuff, you can find it all here at Ameyoko. I believe if you're looking for souvenirs and things, this is a good place to find it also. Without further ado, let's go do some shopping. And here you go, everybody, Yamashiroya. It's the big toy store here in Ueno. About 5 floors, plus a basement underneath, and then an event space at the very, very top. If you're looking for anime, manga goods, toys, collectibles, anime figures, anything anime goods related, this is a place to go. You can find all kinds of toys and collectibles here. And here's the giant Uniqlo. 4 floors of Uniqlo, and the top 2 floors are what's called GU. And if you like Uniqlo, well, this is where you can find some pretty good stuff for all you Uniqlo lovers. What I love about Uniqlo is when you buy pants here, they hem them for you. I think that's a great bargain, and they do it at no cost at all. Maybe you want a Rolex watch. There's 2 shops I ran into down here. There's one place called Satin Doll, and the other one is called Sakura. And both of these places do sell Rolex watches. They're not really authorized dealers, but once again, because of Japan's laws and the ways they work, these are pretty much some authentic Rolexes you can find here, and probably some pretty hard to find models of Rolexes. So if you like Rolexes and you're collecting them, these are places that you can check out also while you're here. If you're looking for some good deals on some secondhand goods, there's a little place I know called the Okura here. And the Okura sells pretty much luxury handbags, if that's what you're looking for. It's a small little shop. There's 2 shops here. The Okura Tokyo is one shop where you can find some luxury bags. And then there's another place called Ginza Paris. These 2 shops you can use to go find some used handbags and goods is what you'll find here. I think you can find some pretty good rates, and I believe the quality is top notch. I believe when you're looking for luxury goods in Japan, you don't have to worry about them being fake. Japan has some very strict laws on selling fake items, and so pretty much what you're going to find in these secondhand goods stores, these are real and authentic, just on that for sure. Okay, we're done with shopping. Let's go find some food because I'm like extremely hungry. So let's go get some food. Oh yeah, how about some Japanese yakitori? Oh yeah, let's try this place. We're gonna go eat here. All right, we found a little place to eat. So I wanted to find a place that was more like Japanese. So this place here has Japanese yakitori, and so that is what we're going to try today. And man, look at this. So give me one moment, I'm gonna order and I'll show you what I got. Right, so we got some Japanese yakitori. We got hearts, we got liver, we got thigh, and we got chicken breast. 4 of my favorite proteins that we can try to eat. So let's see how each one of these tastes. So first of all, let's try our hearts. It's got a nice little smokiness to it, a little hint of salt. It's not like overly cooked, it's like just right. Very tasty. Liver. I'm half on this. It doesn't taste bad, but it doesn't taste good. I'll douse it here. They have some sauce, we have some pepper we can sprinkle on there. All right, liver take 2. Much better with the spice. Next protein, we have a chicken thigh. Here's to you. Very juicy, very, very succulent, so good. Chicken thigh is good. And of course, last we have chicken breast. Not bad. Chicken breast is also pretty good. Japanese yakitori. These are actually quite delicious. All right, that was a good snack. On to the next plate. We got this melon. It's like cantaloupe, 200 yen. Let's try. That's actually very refreshing. That's a pretty good sized melon. Nice and sweet. Nothing artificial about that. Excellent snack while we're just walking around. You don't want to fill yourself with that processed junk. You want to have something like this. Fresh fruit, energy. So good. All right, I'm gonna finish this. All right, last bite. One thing about Ueno, fresh fruit. That was excellent. This is Marui. Let's go inside and see what's there. Let's look for dessert. So this is natural crepe. Just looks yummy, so let's try it. I think I want this one. The berry yogurt mousse sounds good. It's going to make my crepe. That looks great, yeah? Oh, I guess that's yogurt. Oh, that's some berries, and that's it. Nice and easy. And there we go, our natural crepe. Berry and yogurt. Let's go eat this thing. It looks yummy, so excited. And we have the berry yogurt natural crepe. I'm not too big of a fan of whipped cream, so I wanted something that was more towards my liking. And of course, berries and yogurt sounds healthy. So here's to natural crepe. Let's taste. The yogurt is a nice taste in there. The crepe on the outside is nice and flaky. That is really good. It's almost like a thicker yogurt, almost like a Greek yogurt. Great flavor, good texture, and I just chose this place randomly, but I have to say, this is my favorite crepe I've ever had in Japan. I mean that seriously, because I'm not a fan of whipped cream. I've never had it with yogurt, and this is the first time I've had it with just yogurt and berries. And the yogurt and the berries together, that sweet sour in the yogurt with those berries, it's just, oh my goodness, this is so good. Hit the jackpot today, everybody. Happiness in a crepe, that hit the spot. That's exactly what I was in the mood for. Well, I'm going to finish my crepe. So, just finished my crepe. That was definitely one of the best crepes I've had here in Tokyo. So, if you're in Ueno, come find this place. It's called Natural Crepe. Definitely recommend this place. Amazing. And if you're looking for a guide to help you get around Japan, you can reach me at farsidejapan.com. Farside Japan, I do private tours here in Tokyo. If you want to start your adventure in Tokyo and you want to start it right, please connect with me at farsidejapan.com. Ask me anything through there. I look forward to seeing you in Japan. And that, everybody, is Ueno. We discovered the museums of Ueno. We discovered some shrines in Ueno. We were able to go explore, do some shopping, and of course, eat some delicious foods in this area. When you find yourself in this area, please use this video as a reference to help guide you to help find your places. Now, you don't have to go to the places that I ate at, but there are plenty of other places that you can find here to eat that are just as good. So don't be afraid to go off the beaten path and try other kinds of foods that are in this particular area. You definitely cannot go wrong if you just find something that just looks good. So follow your nose. If you follow your nose, you'll always find something very, very good to eat in this particular area also. So thank you, everybody, for joining me today. If you want to see more videos about Japan, you can click here to help you discover more about Japan. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the like button and, of course, comment below. I always like to hear what you have to say. And if you found this video very helpful, please subscribe so you can follow me and my adventures here in Japan. All right, everybody, it's been fun. Cheers, and I'll see you on the next round. What's up, everybody? Bunga here. Welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time here, we talk about all things Japan. And today, we are in Shibuya. Now, if it's your first time in Shibuya, you may find it quite overwhelming. There's a lot of hustle and bustle going on here, and a lot of noise, a lot of lights. You may be wondering, where should you go eat? What is there to sightsee, and what exactly is there to do here anyways? But no worries, in today's video, we're here to talk about all those things. Grab a pencil and a paper and do take notes. There's something here for everybody. You definitely will want to add this to your itinerary to help you make the most out of your next visit to Shibuya, Tokyo. So with that, let's go. An ideal day in Shibuya would be like this: sightseeing first, lunch second, and then after that, spend the rest of the day just shopping. So let's start with sightseeing. After exiting out the Hachiko exit, the first thing you're going to find is Hachiko Square. And there you're going to find the famous Hachiko statue. Yep, that's the dog statue. Now, if you're wondering why this dog statue is so famous, it is based on a true story. Hachiko used to follow his master to the station, and he would wait for his master to come home from work, and then they would go home together. Sadly, one day, master passed away, but Hachiko kept coming to the station every single day until the day he passed away. There is actually historical footage of when Hachiko actually passed away. So the story of Hachiko is a very famous story here in Shibuya, and I believe that's the lure, and that's why everybody always takes pictures with Hachiko. Next on the itinerary, you're probably going to visit the famous Shibuya Crossing. If you want to see it at peak, it's best to come during the evenings. And there's several points of interest where you can actually see the crossing from. Most people, either they're at the Starbucks, or there's a little bridge that goes across, or there's the locked-in, or my favorite place is this little coffee shop right over here. Yep, that little coffee shop. Order pancakes, watch the crossing, and just kind of like relax for the rest of the day. Our next place to go visit after we visit Hachiko and the crossing is to go visit some shrines. This is located on the east side of Shibuya Station, and this place is known as Hachimangu Jinja, also right next to another little shrine called Toyokasa Inari Shrine. Hachimangu Jinja is the main bigger shrine with the main hall. It's a very small neighborhood little shrine that you can visit. Not as big as like Sensoji or Meiji Jingu, but it's a tiny little shrine, which I think is very, very unique. The other neat thing that I like about Hachimangu Jinja that there's also a little museum with some neat little artifacts. And of course, some other interesting things that you can just see on the ground. Very, very beautiful place. It's very, very quiet. There's not too many people. It's a great place to come sit down and relax. Adjacent to Hachimangu Jinja, we also have another smaller shrine. It's called Toyokasa Inari Shrine. And I think one of the things that really stands out about this place are the many tiny little gates that you can actually walk through, which is actually quite neat. And it's just a cool little place to just kind of get away from all the busyness of the west side of Shibuya Station. And then you come over here on the east side, it's very, very quiet. So I would say this is a great place to start the morning. Another fun place to visit over on the east side of the station, really hard to find. This is Tokyo Lips. It's just a pair of lips that says Tokyo underneath it. But if you're visiting Tokyo for the first time, it's the perfect place to take up a photo op. Usually I take people here on my photo walking tours to come take photos here. But definitely Tokyo Lips. So this is located on the east side of Shibuya Station. All right, so we just got done sightseeing. We had a lovely morning in Shibuya, and now you're probably hungry, and you've definitely built up an appetite. So the question is, where do you want to eat? And I tell you what, there are so many places that you can eat in Shibuya. It all depends on what you are in the mood for. If you want something like, say, not Japanese, how about this place? This place is called Kebab Chef. They do kebabs, they're pretty good. Maybe you don't feel like that. Maybe you want something more Japanese. You want sushi, you want chicken, you want beef. There's definitely something here for everybody. If you like drinking, there's a place here called Nombe Yokucho, but Nombe Yokucho is not open until after 5 o'clock. And that's mainly for people who like to drink. So if you like to drink, there's a little place here called Nombe Yokucho. And then another place that you can probably eat at if you really want something yummy, like chicken. This is one of my favorite places. This place is called Tori Kake. It's been here in Shibuya for over 60 years. They get some of the best cuts of chicken. They get fresh chickens in the morning, they chop them all up, and then they serve those throughout the day. And they do have some of the best chicken liver. Now, if you're not in the mood for chicken, you want something more like beef, how about this place? This is Kiwamiya. This place does beef. It's located in the Parko in a place called the Chaos Kitchen. Now, you will have to end up waiting in line there for quite some time. Probably have to wait anywhere from half an hour to an hour. So if you want to wait an hour for lunch, you can go right ahead. They usually open right at 11. So if you get there right before 11, maybe you don't have to wait so long. They do these beef patties. If you like beef and beef is your fancy, more like a ground beef is what you're going to find here. All right, so if none of these places tick your fancy, maybe you want something like ramen. That's always up my alley. I'm always down for a good bowl of ramen. And you know what? In Shibuya, you can always find many good bowls of ramen. So check out these places here. This place is Mini Hibifi. I found this in my ramen magazine. And they do like a creamy ramen dipping noodle. Another place that does dipping noodles is this place. It's called Menya Musashi. And Menya Musashi does the big fat noodles with the big old fat chunky pieces of pork. And I would say if you're hungry and you like your noodles with a lot of bite, I would say this place is absolutely fantastic. This little place over here is kind of hidden in a weird place. It's called a Kiraku. They actually are an award-winning ramen shop also, and they have some super tasty ramen. I ordered it with some gyoza, so it's a really good place. Now, you usually have to probably wait in line, about a 10-15 minute wait, so I would say it's a pretty popular place amongst the locals. And the other place that I really like here, this one is called Samurai Ramen. Samurai Ramen, I think my favorite thing about Samurai Ramen is they do their bowls of ramen with a little bit of jalapeno peppers. Super, super tasty. One more thing, if you like sushi, there's Kuda Sushi, there's Sushiro here, and there's another place called Uebe Sushi. These are usually the 3 sushi places you can choose from. Usually Kuda Sushi and Sushiro are usually the busiest, but Uebe is probably definitely the most local. And if you're gonna be asking me, you would always find me in the little back streets where Uebe lies. That's one of my favorite places to go have sushi. We haven't even gotten started with the sweets. Oh my goodness, how about the sweets? There's this place called Rolled Ice Cream. This place is pretty good. There's always a line and they make it fresh right in front of you. Definitely a good place to have ice cream on a nice day. This place here is known as Shibuchika. And then down over here, there's a place called the Anderson Bakery, and next to it is another place called Sazae. Sazae does mochi. Probably definitely does some of the best mochi, I think, in Tokyo. Definitely one of my favorite places to get a good mochi, but that's just my taste buds. My favorite thing here is the goma ohagi. That's the mochi with the roasted kinako. On the outside, it's like a little brown powder. So good. So I believe those are just some of the snacks that you can hit up here. So there's so many wonderful places that you can eat at in Shibuya. Really, you can take my suggestions, or you can probably just take the time to just walk around this area. And if you see anything that looks good, just go and try it out, because everything here is actually quite tasty. So there you go. That's all the food that you can find in Shibuya. That's enough to get you started. Just to get you started. Remember, don't be afraid to come here and explore on your own and discover food. So after you've had lunch and you've had plenty of stuff to eat, the next thing you want to do is gonna go shopping. So with that, let's go shopping. All right, so we've had quite an eventful day here in Shibuya. You've done sightseeing, you've done eating, and now it's Shibuya night and you're ready to go shopping. When it comes to shopping, this all is going to depend on you and what you are going to be looking for. So if you're looking for fashion and you're looking for clothes, the places that I would definitely recommend is you either go to the 109 directly from the Shibuya Crossing. When you're crossing it, you'll see a little place that says 109. The Uniqlo up behind the 109 is a pretty good place to hit up. Also, Uniqlo is pretty much for all of us. And for those of you who want to go shop and get some good bargains on some pretty good clothes. Another place that you can go shopping if you're looking for some brand goods and things like that is a place called Miyashita Park. If you go to Miyashita Park, you can find all the brand stuff here. If you are into brand goods, Miyashita Park is a place to go. If you're looking for pretty much like vintage anime and manga goods, there's a place called the Mandarake. The Mandarake, it's down basement level. You got to go down some of these very steep steps. But if you go to the Mandarake, you can find some vintage anime and manga goods also. So the next place we're going to go, there's a little place called the Parco. The Parco is definitely the place where you want to go to find some of the good stuff. All you Nintendo gamers at the Parco on the 6th floor. We have the Nintendo shop. If you love Pokemon, we also have the Pokemon shop up there also. If you're also into like just Japanese games, Japanese comics, Capcom is up there. Jump Comics is the one that makes the One Piece comics. And they also have a shop that's right next to Nintendo up there also. And you can find a whole bunch of other cool things up on the 6th floor at the Parco. And I would say out of all the places that you go and wander around in Japan, you can find some of the best deals here in Don Quixote. If you're looking for some goods, this is the place to be. Just to make sure, you probably might want to save this to the end of your trip, because if you're going to be loading up your suitcases, you're going to be filling up with a lot of stuff that's going to come from here, especially if you're looking for like souvenir snacks and all that good stuff, and just weird, quirky things and all that. So that's the Megadon right behind me, all right? That's where we want to go find your souvenirs. Well, I hope you had a fun time. That was pretty much our day in Shibuya. We did a little bit of sightseeing, we've done a little bit of eating, and we've done a little bit of shopping. There are still so many places to explore here in Shibuya, and it's definitely a place that you can definitely spend a day in. So with that, I just want to say it's been truly a pleasure taking you out today and sharing you with just some of the things that you can find here in Shibuya. You watched all the way up to this point. Thank you for watching the whole video. I really appreciate. And if you found some great information that's going to help you when you come visit Japan today, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and say like, and please share, comment, ask questions, because that really helps me out a lot. And if you're looking for more videos about Japan, if you want to know what to do in Shinjuku, or you're looking for the top 10 things, you can check out all my other videos on Japan, and these should definitely help you put together your itinerary. So with that, I want to say thank you. It's been truly a pleasure. Have a good day, and we'll see you in the next round in Japan.